Very few can say they've celebrated 70 years in showbiz and are still shining just as brightly. And she's here to spill her secrets. Please welcome the most fabulous Dame Joan Collins. That's quite the welcome. I have to say, I mean, you are an absolute legend, so I think for everyone here, it's incredible to have you here.
Well, thank you very much. I'm very happy to be here talking about my book, and I should be wearing bigger shoulder pads.
Yes.
So that you can, I can have all my secrets in my shoulder pads.
I was, because that, of course, is the name of the book. It is Behind the Shoulder Pads, and I have to say, I am rather disappointed they aren't as peaked, the shoulder pads that you've got today. I thought you were going to go high.
I know. Well, in the tour, I designed a dress that has the most enormous gold, sparkly shoulder pads, so that when I come on the stage, you know, all you can see first is the shoulder pads, and then underneath it, a tiny figure, me. Well, not so tiny.
Well, you know, for me, Alexis was the first character I ever saw with those shoulder pads. Like, growing up, it was such an iconic look that I feel like you have the rights to own the shoulder pad.
I do. And the whole thing about that, I came up with this idea of using that because we play a game. It's sort of like charades, and it's called the salad bowl game. And we have to, it's 6 people, and we have to guess who somebody is. And somebody wrote down my name, and the other team are trying to guess it. And they couldn't guess it. They were doing big hair. And people were saying Marilyn Monroe or Jane Mansfield. And suddenly the person went, show, and they can't talk like this. They said, Joan Collins.
Really?
Yes, they got it with the shoulder pad.
So this is your, I can't believe, 19th book.
I know.
It's wonderfully written. It feels very fresh and original.
Thank you, Jane.
But the stuff I loved, again, I mean, I knew this anyway, but it's reinforced for me. You were such a trailblazer for feminism. Because when I look at some of the stuff that you went through in the early days of your career, long before Me Too, you were quite feisty.
I was, because I had a father. He was a theatrical agent, and he told me the perils of the profession. He told me that, you know, young, pretty girls were meat to predatory older producers, directors, even actors, Jane. Even actors were like that. And so I said, well, Daddy, what do I do? He said, well, you don't let them get too close, and if they do, you laugh at them. And you say, look.
You did
Laughing at a guy destroys his ego and destroys any other way.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Great advice.
Do you think
Wasn't it?
Yeah, it's great advice.
Do you think you lost work by turning people down?
Oh, yes,
Yeah.
most definitely. One of the stories that I write is about the head of the studio, Buddy Adler, who was dancing with me at one of those fabulous Hollywood parties and saying, you know, would you like to get all the best roles at the studio? And I said, yes, I would. He said, well, I could put you up in a little apartment and come and visit you 2 or 3 times a week.
Wow.
And I said, well, hey, listen, I'm here with my agent, Mr. Adler. How about if we talk about the deal with him?
Well
and
done.
that certainly
Because you got advice from other actresses, didn't you? You met Marilyn Monroe, and she gave you some amazing advice.
I did meet Marilyn very early on when I was there. I was at a party at Gene Kelly's house, and everybody was very intellectual and intelligent, and
How
they
old
were
were
talking. 20.
20.
Yeah.
By the way, you're intellect. You keep saying you're not intellectual in this book. You are.
I've become so, darling. I studied and I read a lot and everything. So, but anyway, Marilyn, I went over because she was looking a bit lost as well. She was sitting at the bar, looking very un-Marilyn-ish, no makeup, you know, hair not really done, but still very pretty. And she said, oh, you're doing The Girl in the Red Velvet Swing. They wanted me to do that movie, but I'm too old. She was like 29 or 30. I was playing a 17-year-old, so I could do that. And I said, oh, well, I'm sorry. She said, oh, no, it's okay. She said, you're new in town. She said, one of the things you have to watch out for is the wolves in Hollywood. And I said, well, I can take care of myself with wolves. We have them in England as well. She said, oh, honey, no, not the studio bosses. If they don't get what they want, they will cancel your contract. It's happened to lots of gals.
Was that intimidating to you? Or did you feel that you could take it on because you had that advice from your father, the agent?
I don't know.
I mean, that would put a lot of women off, you know?
I know. You know, I think it was being a little girl during the Blitz and being in those air raid shelters with the bombs coming down and everybody singing, playing guitars and accordions and... no. I think my intimidation was taken away from that. I never have felt intimidated, really, by anybody, except for Charlton Heston.
Well, I can get that. So you're on tour, which is sort of tied in with the book as well. You've done 3 dates already. You've got another, what, 12?
Another, 11 or 12.
Where do you get your energy from?
I don't know. I was born with it, I just am very lucky. I woke up this morning and I stretched and I thought, can I do it? Can I go and meet all those loose women?
Everyone feels that way.
Is it true that part of your tour, you're opening yourself up to the audience to ask you questions?
Oh, yes. The second half, the audience can ask me whatever they like.
Really?
So what have they asked
Whatever
you?
they are. Well, a lot of it is sort of beauty routines and asking me about Percy, which everybody's very interested in finding out about.
He's lovely.
Isn't he?
He is really lovely.
Everybody's very jealous of him. I'm jealous of me with him.
So what are some of your beauty regimes or tips that you give away?
Oh, my God, I've written 3 beauty books,
Okay.
so it's a bit hard. But basically, you know, you take care of your car, right? You take care of your motorcycle, right? You take care of yourself. You know, this is the only body and face you're ever going to have. So.
And when we talk about looking after yourself, obviously you would have heard the conversation that we were having with Liz about it being Breast Cancer Awareness Month, and that's something that you also have a connection to.
Oh, I lost my mother and I lost my sister, Jackie, to breast cancer. And, of course, several friends. And I feel it's just such a killer, but it can be, as Elizabeth said, if it's checked in time. I remember my sister, Jackie, and she said to me, and it was about 6 weeks before she died, she said, I've got stage 4 breast cancer. And I said, well, haven't you been having mammograms like I've been telling you to have, like I've been nagging you for the last 20 years? She said, no, I didn't want to have them. And I said, Jackie, well, what was it? She said, well, I felt this lump, but I thought it would go away. Even if I think about it, you know, I feel upset about it. And that is what all women should know. They should see if they have a lump and they should get themselves checked. I have to admit, all the time.
And I think if anyone takes anything away, it's that, you know?